be, or like what it can get to. Because yeah, I mean, I guess just like any type of job, it's like it's so demanding, but it's just time wise and everything. Like you have to sacrifice like not seeing your family or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that point. It's very demanding in all aspects of the word, I think, because wrestlers make terrible family members. They're gone for everything, and none of your family will understand it, but it's not their dream, so it's hard that they don't understand it, but it's okay because it's not typical and it's not their dream. But you are asking them to sacrifice right along with you. So I think more people, if they want to get into wrestling, they should understand that. Like, you know, you're going to be gone from people that have seen you since before you were born. Like, they watched you growing in the womb, you know? It's not going to be easy for them to not celebrate your birthday or have you around for Christmas or weddings or whatever the case may be. You know, they're not going to understand why you drove 14 hours round trip for $50. Yeah. They're not going to understand why you're wearing like 4-way stretch spandex and pretending to fight someone that you're best friends with in the back. You know, they're not going to understand that, but it's okay. But just realize that you are indirectly asking them to make a sacrifice too, because you have a dream. But it is your life, and you have to live with whether or not you tried your best to fulfill that dream. And I think a lot of that, I don't want more people to have regret about not going after something that they love. You know, even if it's difficult, like something easily gained can easily be lost. And wrestling is not something that's easily gained. By any stretch. The injuries, the diet, the lifestyle, like, and the critics, the people that have never set foot in the ring, who are wrestling writers that, you know, kind of make or break your career just based off of like their opinion of your match. Yeah, whether it was 5 stars or like just the stuff like that is so humorous, but it's like taken so seriously when it shouldn't be, because we're all growing and evolving as wrestlers and performers. Like, I think there's always something new to learn. You know,
always, yeah.
And there's always a different match to be had, even if you've wrestled that person 10 times, you know, there's always a new opponent. There's always new people getting into the business. There's always new things. Like, you can go to WrestleMania 20 times, but it would be different every time, you know? And that's the thing that I love about it. And I want to see more people come into wrestling because they love it. And then when it's time for them to leave wrestling, I'm tired of seeing people leave the business hating it. I want to see them come into it loving it. And then when it's time for them to retire or leave, whatever the case would be, I still want them to love it. That's the goal. Like, be a part of someone else's
like
survival
a negative
guide.
association.
Yes, because so many people, they just get everything sucked out of them. In the business. Like, I like to equate it to the Wizard of Oz, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep, because I think it's so accurate. Like, wrestling, it's geared towards children, but as kids, we don't have that life experience yet, right? We don't really know what the world is. You know, we have these rose-colored goggles on, like, thinking everything's peachy keen. It's exactly as it is on TV. Everybody's exactly as they are on TV. We have a very skewed reality, basically. And like with the Wizard of Oz, they're trying to get Dorothy home. They want a brain and a heart and courage and all this other stuff. They have to deal with the Wicked Witch of the West and flying monkeys and every other obstacle possible to get to the Emerald City, to the great and powerful Oz, who's supposed to be able to give them all of these things that they've ever wanted. Okay, and then they get there. They almost don't get in. They finally get in. They finally get to that moment where they get to the great and powerful Oz, and he's a jerk. And he's a jerk, and he denies them. He doesn't want to help them. He's mean. And then here comes Toto, and you get a peek behind the curtain, and you see the great and powerful almighty Oz. It's just a man with a keyboard. That is like the best analogy, I think, for the wrestling business, because there's so many people that don't realize that success is not a pie. So they want other people to not get opportunities and not succeed, because they think then that means that they will succeed, instead of realizing that it takes 2 people in that match to make it good, or however many people are in that match. And plus, you need the right kind of training. You need the right kind of looks and gear and work ethic and passion and training, and then opportunities, as well as everything else. And the bookers wanting to book you, and then opponents, and then opportunities after that. There's so much that goes into it that we don't realize as kids. You know, we just think, oh, it's amazing, it's cool on TV. These people are larger than life, but really they're just people. And so that's why I think it's more like the Wizard of Oz than people realize, is because there's so much more that goes into it that you don't realize. And then once you're in it, it can be very overwhelming. Like what you were saying before, like somebody could say something about you and then it makes you question everything about yourself, even though it makes no sense. Like someone could say you're the worst person in a locker room. Nobody wants to be in a locker room with you. You suck. You're awful, this, that, and the other. But then you start to make that become your reality, even though that's only somebody else's perception. And then you start to question yourself, like, and it makes no sense because you know you went to all those trainings. You know you didn't take shortcuts. You know you went to the gym. You know you studied those tapes. You know you took the opportunity to go train at another school to get even better and get more experience and new ideas and new psychology and everything else. You know you went to all these different places. You know you did all these things, but because somebody else said something, then all of a sudden all this self-doubt creeps in because we're all imperfect human beings, you know, and then there's just, you know what I'm saying? There's just so much that goes into it. And if we could eliminate those issues, it would be such a better place.
No, absolutely. Like I couldn't agree with you more. And I love metaphors, by the way. So I enjoyed the Wizard of Oz metaphor. But yeah, you couldn't have said it better. Like it's just really like just making it a good place for everybody. And it's like when you do understand that it's like this is a team effort, and maybe sometimes I even like wonder if like some people, I feel like sometimes like people I've met in wrestling that did come from team sports, they have that type of outlook on it too. Like they're like, I know I can't do well unless you do well, and you can't do well unless I do well. And so I really think like we were kind of conditioned, like, it doesn't matter if I'm the best softball player in the world. Like if my whole team stinks, like there's no way we're winning this game, because it can't just be me. It's like you're only as strong as the weakest player. And so it's really just about taking those people and bringing them up. And you notice that too. I think I like really like gravitated towards those people where I'm like, they really have made me feel like from the beginning, like that they're there to help me and make me feel welcome. And then when I do have those cases that come along to where it's like something said to me or this or that, or like for whatever reason, like I can go back to grounding myself, and it's like, okay, I know that I work hard, and I know this, and I know that I took myself over here to try to go to this show and try to get a fan base up north and whatever it may be. So it's really just like recognizing that like in yourself and knowing that, okay, like this stuff isn't worth my time. Like I'm not going to pay any mind to what this one person is saying and what they might be saying to their friends, because you have friends that reassure you that that's not the case, and you have good people that are around you that also validates, oh, okay, like if they want to be my friend, like I can't be that bad of a person.
Yes. And also realizing your own self-worth based off of yourself too, like your own aspirations and your own definition of happiness and success, because I think at the end of the day, people come and go from our lives all the time.
Yeah.
And people will quit on you your whole life. People will walk in and out, they'll quit on you, they'll give up on you. But the one thing you have to ensure is that you don't give up on yourself. Because you won't achieve anything if you are defeated here and here. And that for me was like the biggest thing to learn. Is I was a very sensitive person. I didn't have that thick skin, and I was very naive. Like I started wrestling like I was barely 17 years old. You know, I was
so
a
you're
little
like
baby.
so young and
influenced. Yes, 100%. Like there were so many things I hadn't experienced or seen, even in high school at that point, that when I got into wrestling, I was like, wait, this person just said a swear word I've never heard before. What? Like that actually happened. I was like skull shocked. I was like, what?